What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Collider Interview Studio at San Diego Comic-Con 2025. I get to join the cast of Percy Jackson. Woo! Huge congratulations. I didn't get to say this to some of you after the junket for season 1, but huge congratulations on season 1. And now I'm so pumped for season 2.
Thank you so much.
And more on the horizon. Walker, Leah, and Aryan, I'm going to start with the three of you here. And I will preface this question by saying, you deliver so big in season 1, but I love how with every new season, you're able to test yourselves even more. So can each of you give me an example of something in the season 2 storyline that challenged you to up your game as an actor?
Fine, I'll allow it.
Oh, okay. Just say that if you didn't want me to. But now I feel bad for going first.
No,
go, girl.
we want you to go.
Okay.
We want
Take
you to
your
go
spot.
first.
Okay, great.
Don't let them do that to you.
Okay, so yeah, I definitely feel like my acting definitely like expanded and stuff. I feel like even from like my own personality when I was younger, obviously not right now, I'm very like bubbly and stuff, but like before I got the part for Annabeth and stuff, my personality was more kind of like Annabeth in the first season, more like kind of like stubborn, like kind of like low down. And basically, you know, more and more I started to get out of that when I came into the industry more. So it was kind of fun to also expand that when it came to season 2. And I've said this probably 1,000 times now and you'll hear it again, but like Annabeth is starting to open up more. So like you see a different side of her this season. So it was definitely a big challenge. And a lot of changes too, because, you know, like you're coming from the first season where it was the three of us. And then also she had Luke, and then Grover was there, and like Thalia was alive and stuff. So I'm just saying that like basically, well, she was a tree, but she was like, yeah.
She was a tree.
She was an alive tree. Yeah, she was a healthy tree at the time.
She was doing good.
Yeah.
As a tree.
so it went like coming into the second season is definitely a big change, and I love the challenge, especially for shout out to Mr. Andrew.
Shout out to Andrew.
Andrew McElroy.
He is amazing. So yeah.
Love it. Who wants to jump in next?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I think it's you know, every season the writers also up their game. So there's, you know,
That's
we
true.
deal with, or our characters deal with more, you know, complex ideas and situations that aren't as, you know, like my mom is gone. That was a big one. It was very, you know, it's like she's gone. That's like, I don't know how to explain it. You know what I mean? Like it's very cut and dry, I guess.
Well,
you
yeah.
know? This
Not a
season
lot of
it's
nuance.
Yeah.
it's you know, a lot more. How do I explain it? Like, can you do this for me?
I know what you mean. It's,
Thank you, Ari.
yeah.
Just explain it. I'm getting tired. You got this.
I get
This
it.
is why you're such good teammates and co-stars.
Exactly.
But yeah, I understand. Like each season, obviously, because all characters are going through adolescence, they're facing more like nuanced problems. Like Walker was saying, his mom, in his eyes, basically dying. It's a very cut and dry. You know, there's not a lot of nuance to that situation. His mom dies, and then it gets complex.
We've said this so many times.
Yeah, I'm sorry. His mom dies, and basically, like it's not very nuanced until more information is kind of released to Walker or to Percy. But in season 2, from the get-go, I mean, there's so much stuff happening. I mean, let alone, you know, this new kind of factor in Percy's life, Daniel. Tyson.
You know, Daniel, when
Daniel's life.
Yeah.
this is what happens when an actor is so inseparable from their character.
I
Y'all
don't.
went method.
I never
Yeah.
know
Yeah,
if
I know.
I'm saying their name or the character's name, and I feel so bad.
We're all just so
I wouldn't be
one with the
surprised
character.
if I did it at one point during this interview. So
Yeah.
I totally get it.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it right now. Charlie and Dior, I'm going to come your way next because, and you might have known this early on, but this is technically your very first season as series regulars, which is a really big deal. Can you tell me a little bit about what getting that opportunity on Percy Jackson means to you and what having a bigger role in the production, you know, helped you achieve this season that you couldn't last?
Yeah, I mean, I think something that was so helpful this season was we got to be a part of the prep,
Yes.
which was amazing.
That was
we had
life-changing.
about 3 weeks of prep before we started filming, where we were just doing stunts and working with our acting coach Andrew and reading scripts and just really, you know, doing team bonding and like just really getting a better understanding of our characters and really kind of building that chemistry and breaking the ice then, so that by the time when we started filming, you know, there was no ego involved, and we all just felt super comfortable with each other, and yeah, it was great, and just hanging around, like just being, even if we weren't working, like we came to set a lot because we
it's
just wanted to
true.
be there. And
Dude,
Yeah,
this
it was so
year
much fun.
was like life-changing for me. I don't know if it was for you, but it changed my view on the way that I approach my work and the way that I approach my life in general. We'll say it all so many times. Andrew is like the most amazing person ever, like as a mentor, as an acting coach, everything. But I think the big thing for all of us, especially you and I, Charlie, this season, was we really, really got to kind of peel back the layers and dive super deep and get into the reasons why, because there's no villains. Everybody actually is justified in what they're doing if you take a look at the mechanics of why we are the way they are. And what I'm super excited for this season too, that I got to really, really work in prep, is Clarisse's arc and understanding her heart and everything. Yeah.
I'll follow up on that because I think you mentioned that on the panel yesterday too. What would you say in your journey to understanding her more? What would you say is the biggest difference between how you pictured her when you first took the role and who she's become in season 2?
Well, I remember in my audition process, I had done a lot of research on Clarisse because there's not much on her in the books to really, really pull from. So I went to Riordan Wiki and just everywhere that I could possibly go to find out information about her. So I knew about her arc coming on to season 1. But I think the biggest difference that I think people are going to have, you know, in seeing Clarisse is that she really is in season 2 a fully actualized and rounded human being. And she has her reasons. I mean, you get to dive into her psychology and the things that she's been through in her life. I mean, I had this one scene with Adam, which was one of my favorite scenes to shoot all season, where you can just see years of trauma laid out right in front of you. And it's done in such a beautiful way. And it was written in such a beautiful way that you finally get to see her and understand her. And I relate to her so much personally. That's one of the big reasons why I was so excited to, you know, take her as a role. And I think many people are going to be able to relate. And I think at the end of this season, like, we all love to hate her. I love to hate her as well. She's great to hate. But I think everyone's going to have like a twisted reason to actually love her by the end of season 2, which I'm excited for.
Daniel, you're next up on my list here, and I'm a total nerd for movie magic, so I have to ask you to walk me through the behind the scenes of what is necessary in order to be a Cyclops in the finished product.
I mean, honestly, they made it so easy for me. There's so little in terms of like the technicalities. There's no dots, there's no nothing. I'm just appearing like this on the day, and all the magic is done after. I don't have special eye lines. They don't have to look at me at different parts around, or like look higher or lower, anything, or with specific eye. Everything's just us interacting with one another.
Tell them
Pretty
about Tyson
incredible.
time.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
Tyson
Tell
time.
them about Tyson time.
Tyson time.
Tyson time. It's so
Thanks,
great.
guys.
Tyson time.
Tyson
Yeah,
time.
tell us about Tyson time.
Basically, after each scene, just like so much of how they basically take my two eyes, combine them into one, is based off of them being able to kind of get all the lighting, the environment, and everything, so that when they're doing all the kind of computer generated effects or all their magic, they're able to have as much information as possible to use it. And so at the end of each scene, I have to go in there and I just get bombarded with questions, and I have to just turn around, look all
And
over
look in
the
a
place so
circle.
they can see my eyes from every single angle. And we got some fun stories out of me during it.
Yeah.
Process
Yeah,
is
yeah.
pretty incredible.
It's
It makes
really cool.
something that could be an added layer of a challenge for an actor, and it just seems like it makes it so seamless for you.
That's exactly it. It's the seamlessness is amazing because it just allows me to kind of enter into, complexity of his character, especially playing a character that's like a baby monster. And I think it's a big jump in certain aspects from who I normally am. And so it just gave me a lot of freedom. Well, yeah. Yeah, but
I hope they release the Tyson time.
was
like,
They totally should do that as like shorts.
They would ask some weird questions because they'd need to get like the emotion he was feeling on
Andrew
the day out
asked
of
the
him.
most wild questions.
so
Like about
cool,
Tyson's
actually.
past.
Yeah.
It's really cool. From
Oh, that feels like one of the best like kind of exercises, but like on set in the moment to get to do.
Yeah. I mean, again, the actual show brings so much out already, so it's just more of like a continuation of that. But it was really fun.
I have to wind down with you all soon, and it breaks my heart. So I'm going to try to get as much out of everyone as I possibly can by ending with one big group question. And like, admittedly, I'm a big cheeseball. Making TV shows is really, really hard, but I love emphasizing the joy you could have while going through that process as often as possible. Can you each tell me the specific day or moment on the Percy Jackson season 2 set that brought you the most joy as an artist?
What a lovely question.
That's an amazing question.
Try.
There was a day on the Princess Andromeda. Me and Walker were filming a scene, and we were in between takes. They were setting up a new shot, and like we're in the studio, it's on the stage, and there was like a balcony on the set, so we kind of walked out on the balcony, and
That's a great story.
and there's not much to look at. Like there was just like construction, like there's other stuff
How
going
was I
on.
supposed to get this from our story?
I don't know.
I got it from that.
You looked at me, and I thought we just had that connection. So I don't know. But Walker jokingly was like, what a beautiful view. And then we were kind of laughing about that. But then, I was like, oh, it actually is like a pretty, when you think about it, like it is a beautiful view. Like when you think back to when we first wanted to become actors, and like that was like our dream, to have that view. And I don't know, we ended up having like a deep talk about that in the moment.
It's so true. I get that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
No, totally. It's crazy, like, to think about, you know what I mean? Especially because, all of us were all such, huge fans and of like shows and movies and like watching them. And well, I guess it's kind of what you do with them. But, it was like, it's crazy to like be a part of something like that. You know what I mean? Like watching like movies like Harry Potter where they build this entire world. Like we get to be a part of one of those worlds. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
There's going to be so many people too that like wind up saying the same thing about your show as you say about something
That's crazy to
like
think
Harry
about.
Potter.
It's so weird.
wow.
It's going to happen. Want to jump in next?
I think again the relationship with Tyson and Percy is so special, and as somebody who was coming in as a fan, I think that was something that was most important for me to be able to capture. And we had a couple scenes around Camp Half-Blood that specifically where we were able to kind of like get into the intimacy of where Tyson comes from and kind of his pain, but also why he's such a big protector and was such a big lover, and to be able to have those moments of like really connecting with his brother, just like kind of heart to heart, was like that was like really, really, really special moment.
So excited to see that relationship.
Yeah, it's fun.
Front row?
I guess I go. Okay, so basically, I think it was like, you said like day and stuff. So I think it was August 20th, 2024.
Wow.
The exact
I
date.
love that you remember it.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
My answer's not going to be as good as that.
I know.
And it was like we were doing the chariots, and it was me, Kevin, and Sage. And we were like, basically our armor was like, the way how it sits on you and stuff, like it's really hard for you to bend or it'll like stab into you.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say. That is really
Yes,
sweet.
and literally we couldn't sit in our regular like the director chairs that we have and stuff. So we decided to take our like cozy coat jackets and lay them all out on the floor. And we decided to lay on the floor flat, like all together in one line.
And they took a nap.
Yeah. Yes, no, literally we were like sleep, and then we woke up and we all like took like a bite of like one like granola bar or something. It was just like talking to each other while looking up at the tent, because like like you're in a cast tent, you're not looking up at the sky. So we were like, wow, look at all those like answers.
Look at all
It
that.
was like in the middle of like like the forest thingy, so it was bugs and stuff. But it was
Yeah,
cool.
got to do in costumes like that. I get it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to pick one specific moment. I think
Very
it's
true.
it's less so all of the big things, and it's like the little moments that really make up that kind of picture perfect idea we all have of going to set. I remember there was this one day, I can't remember if I was working or if I was like interning or something, but it was right after A Complete Unknown came out, and me and Charlie had both watched it, and we have like karaoke Fridays at Crafty.
I was gonna do karaoke too. Karaoke.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
that's the same.
me and Charlie duetted.
It ain't me, babe.
It ain't me, babe. And it was
I think it's
it
on
was
film.
magical.
So
It probably is on film.
might be.
And
It
we ended
definitely
up
is
like
on film.
we did a whole like 30 minutes of just us screaming our hearts out to
It
like
was
random
amazing.
songs. It was
Yeah.
really fun.
Mine is gonna be that too, but I mean more on that. I think what it was the last day of filming, like proper, and it was cold outside, and it was super late. It was a late shoot, and like you would expect everyone to be so tired and grumpy and ready to go home, but everyone was in such high spirits because we all love each other so much, from the cast to everybody on the crew. And I remember walking outside, and it was like basically snowing, or it wasn't snowing, but it was like there was ice on the floor. And you guys were all doing karaoke, and then it's Chris, right, from Crafty? Yeah. He sang like an Adele song or something. He popped on and he was singing, and then everybody was singing, and then Leah got on the mic, and then at some point
I started rapping.
I know, yeah. At some point, we were doing like the Drake and Kendrick like beef, but like IRL with us. But it was that whole It was that whole moment, just being with everybody and it being freezing cold and super late at night, but us all having smiles on our faces and like just being with each other and being so happy to be there, that like I'm never gonna forget for sure.
I love talking about filmmaking families. Those vibes are the absolute best. And I'm a big believer that when you have that on set, you could also see it in the finished product on the screen.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Love that. I have to let you all go. You got lots more promoting to do. I'm going to say
Thank you so
huge
much.
thank you for
Thank you
coming
so much for
by and an
having
early
us.
Thank
congrats
you.
on
Thank
season
you.
2 of
Thank
Percy
you so
Jackson.
much.
Thank you
very much.
so
Thank you.
much,
Thank you.
Miss.